Hello everybody, and welcome back to Rising Phoenix Racing League. This is round 2, of course, and today, as you can see, we are at Singapore. So pretty good turnout today, 17 drivers, plus myself. And yeah, let's get into this. Oh, and it is appears to be raining in some capacity here today. So I wonder if this is going to carry on to the race as well. We will see. And I believe, is it full wets or intermediates? It is full wets, so it's a full wet quality today. So this is going to be a really big test of the driver's skills here today. I've said today way too many times. But yeah, raining very hard. I'm assuming everyone will be on the full wets, because those are the conditions. And so far everyone who's come out is. So that's good, I guess. Alright, so let's just, who's the first one out? T1. So let's just ride on board with him as he does his outlap and first hot lap. So yeah, this is going to be a very tricky track for sure. Especially if it continues running on in the race. I expect to see some DNFs in the quali session, that's for sure. And just by looking at the onboards here, you can see how hard it is to find grip. So let's hope there's no accidents, but I'm expecting a couple. Ooh, look at that slide from T1 there. But yeah, this track alone is pretty crash heavy. Obviously with it being a street track, and it's quite hard to pass here. So 2 wide moments will probably result in some contact. So overtaking's hard, just driving the truck normally is hard, and yeah, we're gonna see. But here goes, oh yeah, let's go on board here for T1 and his lap. Ooh, and we have a yellow flag in Sector 1. That is Logie. I think he's crashed there. Yeah, on the outlap. So just demonstrating the lack of grip today. yeah, losing half of his front wing, about on the right side there, as you can see. And ooh, and that is purple first sector for Fast6, and ooh, almost collides. They almost collided with each other there. There's a little bit of a slide, very close to the barrier for the Toro Rosso driver. Ooh, very close to the wall there. Oh, as we have an incident. The Williams of T1 on a lap, and the Renault of must be Colin, I think. Yeah, of Colin, who set a purple second sector, I believe. So both of them on hot laps, I think, and they just collided there. So both of their laps unfortunately ruined. And with it being wet and there being this being the longest track yet, or the second longest track in, or is it? No, third longest track, just behind Baku and Spa. But with it being wet, the average lap time is probably going to be like 2 minutes, just under. So there's not going to be a lot of, not as many. Yeah, getting every lap perfect is crucial. As Jigsaw Moto is currently top with a 58.7, so I think, if I were to guess a pole position time, I would probably say a 57.6, maybe, just as a guess. So I think people can probably go a little bit faster than that, and so can Jigsaw. But as a banker lap, it was pretty good. Ooh, and we have, I believe, a car in the wall, or a car just letting people through. Back on board with Senka. Ooh, Big Slater, 57.6, just like I predicted there. But they're probably going to go faster than that eventually. So maybe I was too conservative in my time, but yeah, a wide array of times at the moment. All the way from the 57s to the 10s. But yeah, Sanka doing a 2:05 there. Yeah. Also a tip, probably for this track, unless you're on either the main straight or the first DRS zone straight, or no, probably just the first DRS zone straight. So the one turn that has the kink of turn 5 between 4 and 6. That would probably be the only place I would use max revs in terms of a fuel mix, because if you're in lean, it actually helps with traction on the back wheels, and in the heavy wet conditions, it's usually faster overall to have lean and have more traction than to use rich and wheel spin more, but then have a slightly higher top speed once you get grip. or acceleration once you get grip, which isn't until like 4th gear. So I'm not sure if it's really worth it, but some people I know do go lean with a lower ERS mode when it's heavy wet. That might be a strategy, I guess, some drivers could use. It's not guaranteed to work, because I'm not really an expert. I haven't driven much in wet conditions. But yeah. As RHG goes currently fastest in the first sector. Ooh, and we have a crash. T1 on his outlap. And he's going to be boxing right away. Oh, and Trixie has hit the wall at turn 11, I think. Ooh, a very tricky part of the track. Probably slowed down Bazooka. Oh, well, Bazooka Joe's on an outlap, so it doesn't really matter, but probably scared Bazooka Joe a little bit there, as well as Trixie himself. And then we have Slater right behind them, who I don't think is on a lap. Let's check. Or he might be, actually. He's in 4 ERS. Ooh, and it appears Collins, the first driver to go on to the intermediates, although he is still in the pits. But maybe it's drying out a little bit. Maybe we'll see that happen as the session goes on. But Gamez Turish on a lap. So let's just go on board with him, and I'll be quiet. Ooh, as Big Slater goes top with the 57.0, so just extends his gap. Ooh, Gamez drifting around the final corner. Sorry, just texting. But yeah, Turish doing a 1.1, so pretty good. Takes some P6. Ooh, as Deadwood's drifting through turn 2. A lot of Tokyo drift action today in Marina Bay. Oh. Oh, just a lack of grip. Oh, Deadwood. Oh, he just got it. Just got it. That was crazy. Oh, as we have an incident. We have an incident. Someone. Oh, here we go. Logie and Fastrix. And Fastrix has a 5-place grid penalty. So that's going to hamper him enormously there. I'm not sure whose fault it was. I know that there was an accident at the hairpin there, but not sure whose fault it was. Ooh, as the Red Bull goes into the wall and loses all of their front wing. And I believe that's Big Slater on a lap behind. Oh no. The Big Slater's on an in lap, I think. He'll have time to do one more lap, I believe. Unless he is going for a lap here. Oh no, he was doing a cooldown lap, that's why. Okay. Alright, so who hasn't... Alright, so yeah, Trixie still, I believe, is back on, is on their outlap now, so let's just go on board with them until they complete their lap. As they are the only person on track who hasn't done one yet. as Trixie begins his lap. Or Trixie, actually. I should probably pronounce his name right. Trixie. I never saw the K there before. Just noticed it now. Ooh, drifting. Through turn 6. Into 7. Good apex. Good traction. Coming into 8. Clips the curb. Very well. Into 9. 10. Very scary part here. Have to be very careful on traction. And then into the hairpin, under the bridge, and into the hairpin. Ooh, as we have a crash, I believe it's Jigsaw. It is Jigsaw in the racing point. He's lost some of his wing, and that's his lap unfortunately ruined. And he will not get another chance to set a lap. So P3 will be the highest that he'll be able to go, unless he is, well, yeah, mathematically, well, unless he does the lap with the damaged wing. But I don't think he's going to be doing that because it's very heavily chipped off there. And I think someone went on at turn 6 as well. I think it was a Toro Rosso. Probably Fashix, or wait, who was it? No, it was Racing Maestro, I think. But no damage for him, luckily. And Trixie's coming in, so Trixie will not set a lap. Oh yeah, Trixie has damage. So very qualifying to forget for the Renault driver. As we've got Logie and Crazy Trooper, the two drivers who haven't set a time yet that are on track. Let's go on, we'll go cinematic with the Trooper for this lap. Who as Hyper retired from the session, as you can probably see. Ooh, very close to the wall there. When Jigsaw and Bazooka Joe have both retired in the pits, as well as Hyper before, and Trixie is too. Ooh, as Fashix goes top with the 55-4 on intermediates, which definitely means that the track is drying and the inters are now the best tire. And of course, yep, pretty much everyone, or most drivers are now on the inters. As Trooper comes on the corner, it's going to be a very good time. It's going to be a 53.7. So that's another, like, it was what? It was, I think Slater's time was a 57.0. Yeah, P5 right now. And then, wow, yeah, that's like 4 seconds in total, almost 3.3 seconds from the wets to the inters there. as I believe Racing Maestro's had an incident and has unfortunately invalidated his lap. Ooh, I think Logi's hit the wall as well on his hot lap, so he's unfortunately, yeah, has no front wing now. So another very unfortunate qualifying. Well, not another, but ooh, as there's a DNF car there, but there's been quite a bit of poor qualifying today. Obviously, with it being very tricky conditions, I don't blame anyone. Oh, as Big Slater goes top with a 52.6, so over a second faster than Trooper's time. And oh, carbon fiber off of the Ferrari, who I think is on a lap. Actually, no, they weren't. But yeah, a little collision there. And now we're just waiting for the final drivers. I think. Oh, one of the AI cars just DNF there. But I think that was Sanka. Yeah, Sanka's AI just DNF'd. So our qualifying, it is a Irish 1-2, I think, like yesterday as well. Same top two as well, I think. So we have Big Slater, Trooper, Deadwood, Fashix, who has a 5-place grid penalty, so he'll be starting 9th or 10th, I think. Then Sanka, Shady, Colin, RHG, PG Killer, Jigsaw Moto, Bazooka Joe, Gamez Turush, Racing Maestro, Hyper, Logi, T1, and Trixie. Or Trixie. Alright, so everyone is on the grid. Quite a full grid today. I like the look of it. 19 drivers, very nice. With Cobalt and Swanee coming in, I think during qualifying, but they couldn't participate, so they will be starting from the back. But they're both pretty quick, so we will see what they can do. Yeah, probably a lot of DNFs going to be happening today. A lot of incidents, just the nature of the track. And as the qualifying was wet, every driver could choose what tires they wanted to start the race on. So let's see what those tires are. So no one going for the softs, which I think is a good sign. All mediums or hards, and I think it will be a medium to hard or hard to medium strategy today. So probably a one-stop, I would assume. And yeah. Probably going to be 3 safety cars, or 2, or however many the max is, plus some VSCs today. Well, in pretty much every race that's the case, so it's gonna be no different here. Probably even just more, just because of the nature of the track. The only place that would be more than this would probably be Monaco, because I do rate Singapore harder than Baku. in terms of a street track. Except for the castle section. That is very difficult. Very difficult. Okay, so I don't know if this information is correct, but by listening in to a certain person's stream that's going right now, who's in this race, I'm hearing that it might rain later on. So I'm not sure if that's true or not. But yeah. Alright, 5 red lights to the Singapore Grand Prix. Lights out, and away we go. Big Slater leads, of course. Crazy Trooper in a comfortable P2. A bump from the McLaren and Alfa Romeo. It was a spin at the back. It's a racing point. It's hyper. As everyone blasts down turn 4 and on to the main straight. Or not the main straight, the first DRS straight. Of course, no DRS for 3 laps. As Big Slater is being hounded by Trooper right behind. Ooh, too wide there. Toro Rosso and Haas, and then the Ferrari of Gemez coming in on it too. Going round the outside of PG Killer. Very nice move. It was we have a crash, or we have an incident. It's carbon fiber. Not sure who it was, but someone is losing some wing now. As Jigsaw overtakes Colin. Alright, let me get the telemetry up. There we go. Alright, so the best start at the end of lap 1 is Jigsaw Moto up 4 spots, and the worst is Crazy Trooper down 7. Oh, I think it was Trooper who hit the wall there. It must have been, if he's down 7 places, because he was in P2. So yeah, Slater with the fastest lap, and Deadwood is up into P2. Ooh, very wide there for the Ferrari of Gamez, or Bazooka Joe, one of the two. On board with Bazooka. Sanka gets a penalty already for track limits, it appears. Ooh, as T1 has come into pit. Ooh, McLaren and Toro Rosso there. Battling it out. Ooh, as RHG and Shay T are side by side. Or they were. As Slater's pulling a pretty good gap, and so is Deadwood to Sanka and P3, who might have damage, who does have damage, so yeah, that explains it. But yeah, now Sanka's going to be probably frustrating some of those behind him, if he can keep him behind, which it's not too, it's quite hard to pass here, so most likely he'll be able to defend pretty well, even with less downforce. The only real opportunity is on the first DRS straight, so between turn 4 and 5. Was the Mercedes gets pretty close to the McLaren there, nearly touches. Slater goes fastest lap as well, or beats his own fastest lap to go even quicker, 42.4, I think. Yep, 42.4. Ooh. RSG, slight corner cut there. He gets a penalty for it. As DRS is now enabled, and Jigsaw Moto is going for a move on RSG. So they're side by side, but RSG keeps it around the outside. Jigsaw is giving it everything. Ooh, I think the McLaren there brushed the wall and has some damage. McLaren of Trooper. It's been a very unfortunate first opening laps there. Ooh, this is a yellow flag. That is Sanka. That's Sanka, who's I think spun at turn 10. Ooh. And he's lost a whole heap of time. So it's Big Slater who leads from Deadwood to 4.6 seconds back to Shea-T. And then the big train of cars. Ooh, as Jigsaw overtakes RSG there. Ooh, and that's T1 who I think hit the wall as RSG comes into the pits with damage. So we've got multiple cars coming in. As T1's hit the wall again, it appears. It's been a very awful lap for him. And he's just coasting now. Letting Logie through. Ooh, that's Bazooka Joe on Racing Maestro. And oh, Bazooka goes wide as T1's retired from the session. They're still side by side, these two. Because Racing Maestro has some damage on his right front there. Let's go back up to the front to see what's going on. Deadwood trying to chase down Slater. Was back here, we might see a move. Gamez on Fashix. Fashix goes to the outside. They touch, they make contact. Toro also has to go wide and has to concede the position there. But dives it down the inside again at the next corner. But doesn't have enough speed to make the move stick. And has to slide in behind. What's that? I think that's Logie, who has gone wide, very wide at turn 5 or turn 6. It has some damage. As Hyper gets a penalty for multiple warnings. As Deadwood also gets a penalty for multiple warnings as well. Jigsaw is really close to Shady now. As Swanee and Racing Maestro are really close as well. As Sanka's retired from the session. And I believe he has done it on track, so this might cause a VSC or safety car. And Sanka has left. So this game is very safety car heavy now after the patch, so we will see what happens. And no safety car. Okay, good. There hasn't been one yet, which actually surprises me, considering how often they tend to come out for small things on this game. But thankfully there isn't one. But there could be in the future for sure. As Jigsaw is still chasing down the McLaren of Shady. And with DRS, we'll see if he can get close. So let's see the stops so far. So the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 7 overall, 5 currently racing, have all made stops. So expect them obviously to gain a crap ton of positions later on. As here's Racing Maestro and Trickski. Who is, I believe that is RHG, or I think that's Cobalt, who has hit the wall at the hairpin there. I don't think has any damage though, thankfully. Probably just went a little bit wide and had to reverse. As Trooper goes fastest on the mediums with a 40.7. Oh, and there's been an incident. Oh, there's been 2 incidents. Logie and I think something with Bazooka Joe, and there's a VSC as carbon fiber goes flying there off to the left. Yeah, VSC. So let's see if anyone comes in now. I'm not even sure if the VSC is going to last that long, but well, I mean, no, I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be smart to come in. If there is rain gonna rain, then you need your tires to go as long as possible anyway. And the mediums on 7 laps and the hards on 7 laps aren't that worn yet, I don't think. So DRS has been enabled again, and the VSC is in. Oh, as we instantly have another yellow flag in Sector 3 for Jigsaw Moto, who has spun at the final corner. Thankfully, no damage, and he keeps on going. Ooh, as RSG is just pitted for softs. That's what Big Slater now has an 11-second gap back to Shay T behind. Ooh, I think that's Logie there, who's gone off at the same corner. Really tricky that corner is for him today. It was Coppola gets a penalty for multiple warnings at turn 3. So Deadwood Bear in P8 is the highest runner who has made a stop, and after all the stops, I believe. Ooh, and he just overtook Swanee there quite easily. I don't think Swanee was willing to fight it. But yeah, if you do the math and the like for the pit stops, I think he'll come out in P2, so where he was before. So that's pretty good. And now he has a little bit of clean air to just push, and hopefully he can get to the end on the side and get a good result. As Jigsaw gets a penalty. As Bazooka Joe on Fashix here. Around the outside of the kink of turn 5 and into turn 6. And manages to keep it. But Fashix is going to come back and reclaim that position. But Bazooka Joe's going to get the cut back on him at that corner, and they're going to go nearly side by side to the next. But Fashix keeps P5 for now. And Fashix also has damage as well, so it's very impressive that he's being able to defend. As ooh, we have I believe that is Logie again at the hairpin, just causing a brief yellow flag. As Gamez is now very close to Shay T here. Let's see their tires. So Shay T on the compound harder. So obviously Gamez with the pace advantage because of that. And he gets the move down to turn 1. Who has Bazooka Joe is now side by side with Fashix. And Bazooka Joe gets it. Very good passes there by both overtakers. So right now, Big Slater completely in control, 15.5 seconds in front of Gamez, and on the harder tires as well. He hasn't really had to fight anyone today. He led from the start and just pulled away ever since. But he's been real consistent. and is fully deserving of that P1 that he currently holds. Oh, we have an incident. It's Swanee into the barrier there, or almost into the barrier. No damage, thankfully, but some lost time. And as always, the stream is sponsored by water, so yeah. Just thought I'd put that in there. Ooh, a drift from Deadwood there. As Trixie gets a time penalty. But now Deadwood is very close to Fashix, who I believe does have damage. Yep, right end plate damage. And Deadwood's tires are 8 laps younger than Fashix's right now, so this is probably going to be an easy move once he gets to a DRS straight. And here he goes. Oh, a very aggressive weave there by Fashix, but Deadwood does get past. He's looking for the move back, but can't get it. As Hyper pits. As Jigsaw is once again close to Shea-T. As it appears that Shea-T just has let him past. Oh yeah, because he has massive damage, so I don't think he wanted to fight it. Damage on his right side there. And now here comes Bazooka Joe right behind. As Shea-T lets him pass as well. As now Deadwood is pressuring Shea-T. As Shea-T is just unfortunately falling back the positions here because of that damage. And I think he's going to let him go on the straight. Yes, he does. Ooh, as he goes wide, almost hits Deadwood there. And now Fashix is right on the back of him. As Bazooka Joe is closing in on Jigsaw as well. And Crazy Trooper is pretty close to Trixie as well, or Trixie. As Hyper overtakes RHG, and Cobalt gets a penalty. And I believe it is raining, so the source that I had that information from was correct. So now, will it be enough rain to disrupt the dry tires? We will see. And will it be heavy rain or light rain? Let's find out. Ooh, as RHG and Logie are coming into the intermediates, very early, I would say. I think that was probably, unfortunately, the wrong call. It doesn't look wet at all yet. I've only seen the rain for 20 seconds or so. But let's see what they can do. Oh, as Trixie is very close to Crit Trooper. As Bazooka Joe's really close to Jigsaw as well. While they're lapping Logie side by side. Ooh, he loses the back end a little bit and has to concede, or has to stay back. But now Deadwood's in it as well, so it's a three-way battle here. And Willow's pretty close to Colin as well, so let's go on board with this. Oh, if I can see where they are, there we go. Ooh, as I think RHG has just crashed. Yes, he has. As Hyper gets a penalty, and we are now halfway through the race. But things are gonna get really interesting from here on out. Another yellow flag. Ooh, and there's a safety car, full safety car. So everyone should probably come into the pits as RHG has hit the wall on the intermediates that just weren't ready yet. But I would probably come into the pits now, because by the time the safety car comes in, it will definitely be wet. It will be full wet. Deadwood decides to come in. Yeah, that's a good decision. Oh, and he's hit the wall. He's hit the inside wall there. And he's been disqualified from the session for blocking the pit lane. He was only there for like a second. And Deadwood has been disqualified and comes into the pits. Oh my goodness, and oh my goodness. I feel really bad for him, dude. He was up there. And then that happened. And it just cost him big time. Darn it, dude. That's really unfortunate. As everyone comes into the pits, of course, under the SC to switch to, I would assume inters. Except for Trooper, who's on the softs. I'm not sure if that was accidental or not. It might have been accidental. But regardless, that's probably going to cost him a whole heap of time now. Unless the rain isn't going to get harder, and it's going to actually be better for him. As Logie's retired from the session as well, so we now have 5 DNFers. While as Big Slater is 1 minute ahead of P2 right now. 1 minute, 1 second, and 0.909. Crazy stuff. But under the safety car, of course, it's all going to bunch up, so all of his hard work is going to get erased, unfortunately, for him. But yeah, Racing Maestro and Trooper are both deviating from the my predicted strategy, and they're going onto the softs and deviating from everyone else in terms of tire strategy. But yeah, maybe it'll work out for them. We'll see. But it looks to be getting wetter and wetter to me, so I hope it wasn't a bad call for them. They seem to be pretty fine on traction, actually, so maybe it's not. Oh, as I say that, he hits the wall and loses some carbon fiber. Does Trooper. So, I don't know, I'm not sure right now. I'm not driving, so I have no idea, but yeah. Alright, so Slater is now behind the safety car. Yeah, as a Trooper comes in, and I'm sure Maestro will as well. So yeah, that was very unfortunate for them. Ooh, as PG Killer's coming into the pits as well. I'm not sure why. He has a full front wing and he's on inters, but he's coming into the pits. So maybe he's going to go onto the wets? Yep, onto the wets. Oh, and a wing change. Okay, that was probably why. But yeah, ooh, as Cobalt has a penalty for colliding with Hyper. Which is very odd, because... Oh no, maybe it was someone else. I don't know. Maybe I read that wrong. Yeah, Deadwood has left the session. So everyone's just waiting for everyone to line up now. And the safety car should be in this lap. Or the next lap, I mean. Well, next time it comes around, it'll be in. As the Maestro gets a penalty. So PG Killer is the only person on wets, so we're gonna see if that pays off. And he's coming back into the pits, so no, it hasn't paid off. So it's very unfortunate. That's a whole additional pit stop, or 2 additional pit stops that didn't have to happen there, as RHG's left the session after DNFs. Oh, and there's front wing damage as well, again, for PG, so that's why. As well. A very unfortunate pit stop window, though, for PG Killer. Alright, so yeah, the safety car is going to stay out 1 more lap until everyone can grid up, probably. while this is happening, I'm going to go look at my phone. All right. Ooh, very slow there. Around 30 miles an hour. But that's how it is under the safety car in the wet at Singapore. Alright, so SC is coming in. And Slater, of course, is trying to get the best possible start here. Weaving. Ooh, carbon fiber coming off of Jigsaw Moto's car. After colliding with Gamez, it must have been. And Swanee has a penalty for collision with Colin. I think Racing Maestro is just going to get to the end of the train by the time they start again. Oh, no, they won't. No, he won't. But, alright, everyone's going again. And off we go. This time in the wet, so this is going to be interesting. Fashik's looking around the outside of Bazooka Joe. Can't get it done, though. As Big Slater leads. Gamez in second. Jigsaw Moto in third. Bazooka in fourth. Fashik's in fifth. Ooh, Bazooka Joe look. As Racing Maestro has just pit. Oh, as that is, that's Jigsaw Moto there, who is, or something, just sitting there, with no front wing, and is, of course, falling back positions. But yeah, he hit the wall there on the inside, and he's been disqualified as well. So yellow flags are out. We'll see what happens. Swanee gets a time penalty for multiple warnings. And there's another safety car. Another safety car. So we're gonna see what happens now. As everyone's gonna grid back up. So another chaotic start awaits us. But I think this time everyone will be able to join the queue before we get going again. Swanee's engine is freaking out. Alright. So Hyper going on to the wets. Same as PG and Cobalt. As it might be full wets now, I'm not sure. Alright, so let's check, or I'm just gonna check. Oh, nothing there. That's new within the race time. Was Cobalt pits? Probably Fringers. Yep. Ooh, a little tap there from Racing Maestro on Hyper. Alright, so one more lap in the safety car, I think, and then we'll get going for the final 8 laps. When Hyper's coming into the pits to change tires. How many stops? Oh, quite a lot of stops for some drivers. So Gamma's Turish currently with the best race in terms of positions gained. Oh no. Atrixki actually up 12, then Swanee up 11, and Gamma's Turish up 10. In terms of the worst, Deadwood was down 16 after he got disqualified, as Jigsaw Moto left the session, and but for the people racing, it's Crazy Trooper down 5. think the safety car is not coming in this lap, probably next lap. So we'll have 7 laps of running to the end. As Shaky comes to the pits for inters, or for fresh inters. Oh, as Hyper's coming to the pits for new wets. And everyone's racing to get back to the safety car point, or the queue. So while they do that, I will be back on my phone. Alright, so I think everyone will make it to the safety car point, or the safety car queue, by the time, it comes in. Ooh, as Willow just overtook Hyper under the safety car. I'm not sure. Oh, and they're gonna collide! They're gonna collide as well! And that's gonna... And Hyper gets the penalty for that, and Hyper has retired from the session. Oh my god, I don't know what happened there. What just happened there? One sec, let me look this back on Hyper's point of view here. Alright, as Big Slater leads the pack out for the final 7 laps of the race. Alright, as Trixie's coming into the pits, and the 2 Ferraris are really close to each other. Well, everyone is. And of course, DRS is disabled. Sliding. Ooh, side by side, Red Bull and McLaren of Swanee and Shay T, or Crazy Trooper, rather. Ooh, Crazy Trooper gets into a spin, or into a slide, but they're still side by side. That rhymes. Ooh, bumps with Swanee there. Swanee still has the engine glitch. Ooh, slidey, slidey boys. Ooh, as Cobalt passes Trixie, or no, Cobalt passes PG Killer. So far so good in terms of collisions. No collisions so far, I don't think. Ooh, as Crazy Trooper spun. He's had a little bit of a half spin there, and he's now under pressure from multiple cars, including his teammate. Ooh, as Shay T gets a huge slide and almost hits his rear right wheel on the wall there. And Big Slater appears to be pulling away with this one again, just proving his speed. Can he make it 2 wins in a row for his first 2 races? We will find out soon. Ooh, side by side, Mercedes and Toro Rosso. Oh, it's not gonna end well. Oh, Cobalt gets a little bit of a spin there after Maestro touches with him. Well, as Trixie has retired from the session, I believe in the pits. Ferraris are still really close together, and the two McLarens are as well. With Slater continuing to increase his lead. As Maestro gets a 5-second penalty for track limits, sorry. Ooh, as Gamas has a little bit of oversteer, and that's going to leave him exposed to Bazooka. Trevor's going to the outside, then inside, now back to the outside. They're side by side, two Ferraris. Oh, Bazooka Joe has to go off the track. And they're still side by side. They nearly touched a second time. But Turish keeps P2. Alright, so Fashix is now getting in on the battle here for the for positions 2, 3, and 4. All within a second and a half of each other. Oh, as I believe that's Willow who's gone on and has damage at one of the hairpins. 9.6 seconds the gap from Slater is now to Turish. As Shady gets a penalty. Collins pretty close behind Trooper as well. As Cobalt appears to be closing in really fast on PG Killer, because PG has damage. And this is for the points playing position, and I think PG just let him go there. As Slater begins his final lap of the race. Ooh, as I think Cobalt's crashed. Cobalt's now crashed and has lost his whole front wing, so now he's under threat from PG. as Bazooka Joe is still on Gamma's, but now it's PG with the upper hand, I believe. As Cobalt is struggling, well, both of them are, with really low downforce. As Colin's really close to Trooper now. As the Ferraris are still going at it. And as Big Slater is weaving, because he has won the Singapore Grand Prix. So, once again, very good work to Big Slater there. Very well done. 2 wins out of 2 starts. Very, very good. Gamma's Tourish is in P2, with Bazooka Joe close behind in P3. Fashix is in P4, Swanee P5, Shady P6, Colin P7, and then Racing Maestro and Trooper are very, very close. But it's going to be Racing Maestro in P8, or no, Trooper in P8 after penalties. And then it's going to be Cobalt and PG Killer, I believe, if everything stays how it is. But yeah, quite another crazy race. 2 safety cars, VSC. Yeah, crazy stuff. And there we go. Or no, not done yet. And PG Killer comes around the final corners. But he's not going to make it. He's going to hit into the wall to finish off the race. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not, but that was a way to... That was crazy. But yeah, there we go. So congrats to the podium finishers and everybody. Yeah, Slater's looking really good for the... Don't want to call it early, but he's looking really good for the championship, as well as Ferrari and the constructors. Looking very strong in these first 2 races, at least for Slater. I'm not sure how Ferrari did last race. I already forgot, but they've done well today, so they can all be happy. Alright, so Big Slater finishing the race in, wow, I think it was the first 50. Was that really over an hour long? I think it was. Oh, that was a long race. Alright, so it's Big Slater, Gamma's Tourish, Bazooka Joe, Fashix, Swanee, Shady, Colin, Crazy Trooper, Racing Maestro, Cobalt, PG Killer, Trixky, Hyper, RHG, Logie, Sanka, T1, Jigsaw Moto, and Deadwood Bear. That is your finishing order. But yeah, that's been another race, the second one of season 3. Pretty good, pretty entertaining. I would say, at least for me. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, if you enjoyed it, like the stream and comment or do whatever you want to do. And yeah, we will all see you next Friday for round 3. Yeah, so yeah, from everyone here at Rising Phoenix, thank you for watching and listening. We all hope you enjoyed today's race, and we will see you next Friday. So in 6 days' time at 8 p.m. GMT. All right, bye everybody. Thank you. So, peace out.